Crazy, crazy. Crazy, crazy. Crazy, crazy.
Burn live, y'all. Marijuana keeping y'all connected. Hashtagging these red eyes, changing the viewers' eye red, keeping underage smoking off social media, killing myself for your entertainment, sitting here with friends and family, starting a cannabisation. Welcome to another Burn Live show. It's been a while, y'all. It's been a minute. It's been a couple of seconds. It's been a couple of days since I went live with you guys. I promise you that. I needed a small little break. It was the holidays. You know how y'all are. When you go through the holidays, you just want to relax. You want to spend time with family members and stuff like that. So that's why I didn't go live, because I wanted you guys to spend time with your loved ones, your family members, and I didn't want to feel like rushing a show. Plus, I had to work. Not gonna lie to you, I had to work. So therefore, I just didn't want to bother nobody. I didn't want to do it. I didn't think y'all deserved to get bothered. But I do have some extreme stories to talk about. Some things have actually been going on. For one, the big fight that's been talked about, I got Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco that had a very good discussion. I do want to talk about that and go over it. I think it needs to be discussed. I'm just trying to figure out why I can't go live on my page, on my Burn Live page. Everybody else be going live except for the Burn Live page. It's kind of just a little irritating. Just a little irritating. But we got Patrick Ray Davis talking about choose your enemy wisely. We are going to be talking about that. Choose your enemies wisely. We're going to be talking about draining the swamp. We're going to be talking about racial things. We're going to be talking about food stamp mama. And if I do have enough time, or I should start off drinking water, which is in California. And I think the drinking water should go first because it's just a funny. It'd be just something just to kick off, something funny for us just to talk about and break down. We always need something to break down, ladies and gentlemen. And the first article that came across my board. And I think the drinking water should. Oh, wow. Y'all didn't tell me y'all was hearing double of me. So, Don't know why y'all hearing double of me. Let me check that one more time. I wish somebody would have told me, like, hey, man, I heard two of you, bro. Oh, wow. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Y'all didn't tell me y'all was hearing double of me. Okay. So. All right. So y'all was hearing double of me. And then nobody hit that bell to let me know we got problems up here. Y'all hit that bell, let me know what's going on. Let me know that you up in here. Hit that notification, hit all that stuff. Do all that sweet stuff to let me know that you're up in here. Let me know that you're part of the stream. Put a comment down. Yeah, put a comment down. Let me know you're up in here. Shout out to my Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube page. We are popping. We are crack-a-lacking. We are in the building, as I like to say. Why is it, ladies and gentlemen, just a quick question before I get deep. Why is it that we as men had to make preference, had to go out our way for women when the fact, man is a good catch. That's another article we will be talking about. Something that blew up on Twitter about the Olympics, and she dating a football player, and it got very, very controversial. Do I think it should? Do I think it should have got controversial? No, I don't. Me personally, don't think it should have got controversial, but it did get controversial. It is what it is. It is. It is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. Before I get into the deep stuff, I think I am going to go into the drinking water first. For the simple fact that the drinking water one was funny, weird to me. And then when I found out it was here in the home states, I was like, yes, sir. I thought we had to sound the alarm. So y'all finna go to my new page, how I set up. I got this set up for us, y'all. I got this set up so we can watch videos and y'all can see them a little bit better, a little bit clearer. A little bit clearer. So watch this video. I want to play with this and check this out. Hey, bro, I'm still tripping off how you just keep calling out nasty bitch. Yeah. Hold on. That's what I thought. I kind of figured y'all couldn't hear what was going on. Ooh. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. I had a funny feeling that y'all cannot hear what. I kind of figured y'all couldn't hear. And all this. What was going on? Okay, that's so weird. 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 Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. I had a funny feeling that y'all cannot hear what I kind of figured y'all couldn't hear. And all this.
and make it drinkable. I don't care how many filters you put on it, I ain't drinking shit.
96 million gallons a day of treated wastewater from a county sanitation plant. And yes, that includes sewage.
You think I'm going to drink that water?
Yes, you will.
If you drink that, you a nasty bitch.
All right, I'm going to do it.
All that was left was to try it.
She just drank shit with a smile on her face. If I'm her husband, I want a divorce. You went to work today and drank shit? California water officials on Tuesday approved standards to clean sewage water well enough to pipe directly back into drinking faucets, you nasty bitch. The rules, like...
I just need to make sure I'm trying to get this mic stuff together, y'all. That's all I'm trying to do now. But
were they even gonna tell us? I ain't getting no notification on my phone, no nothing. One day I was just gonna wake up and start drinking shit. Clean sewage water well enough to pipe directly back into drinking faucets, you nasty bitch.
I just need to make sure I'm trying to get this mic stuff together. Okay, so the mic stuff work. We can hear things. We can go a little bit further on. Sorry about all the confrontation. Y'all been trying to fix things and make things a little bit better for watching purposes. Then I switch back over here to this, and then we get back to the normal sit. Okay, so that was cool. The drinking water skit didn't all go as planned, but you know, when you could switch and then play a video.
Alerts. I need a shit alert. I need an alert that say, hey, by the way, this morning when you drink your water,
and the reason I want to bring this up, ladies and gentlemen, because this is happening in California. Why? Yet again, it's always the whys. It's always the whys. Why is California always doing the nastiest, shittiest, disgustingest things? Like, they come up with the things and be like, man, yeah, we're going to do this, man. What makes them so proud to want to do this? What makes them think that this is the right thing to do? What makes them think that if people find out, like my boy right here, when he found out that he's drinking shit, what makes you think that people are going to be satisfied and okay with that? That's what I want to know. What makes people think that you are going to be okay with that? Am I not streaming? I was finna say, damn, am I not streaming? Is we really having problems like that, ladies and gentlemen? I try to put everything together for us, and I still have fuck ups. But I'd rather have fuck ups than to know that I woke up and drunk shit water.
is this what you want?
That's what I should look, y'all. That's what I should have played for this,
Is this what you want?
and then played the shitty water tune. That's what I should have did. Give a round of applause for that, y'all. Yeah. For shitty water. You shitty booty water people. And I'm the reason I'm going here is just for simple fact that, dog, I'm just trying to go live on my stream, and they wouldn't do it. They played me. They played me. You know what? Since they played me, we gonna go into fights. All right, y'all. The reason I want to bring up this fights and stuff like that, because fights versus sports week. And I'm gonna bring it up like
I
that.
started at Purdue Global.
I just want to bring it up like that because, bro, back in the 90s, early 2000s, 80s, 70s, there were rivals. There were teams that didn't like each other when they played. It made you want to sit there and have a conversation with them. It made you want to sit there and watch the team because you knew what was happening. You knew the fights. You knew what was breaking down. So it made you excited. It made you want to see what was going on, right? That's how I look at it. It really made you want to do that. And if you didn't do that, then yeah, you might have a little problem. You might have a little problem. I cannot knock it. I cannot deny it. But yeah, you might have. You might have. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. When y'all be getting notifications like this, you're gonna have to stop sometimes in the middle of your show and check some shit out. You're gonna have to. You might not like it. It may not be what you want, but you're gonna have to check some shit out. You're gonna have to. Okay. All right. I'm just going back into my show. Okay, so we're talking about rival week. We're talking about people fighting and banging. The reason we bring this up because Draymond Green had another fight on court. They suspended him for the rest of the season. And people want to know, like, is he going to be okay? Is he coming back? I don't want to know that. What I really want to know is, when you taking some of these fights out, are you taking away the thrilling of the sport? Are you taking away the satisfaction of sitting here knowing that this guy and this guy don't like each other? They finna meet next week, Tuesday, on the court. I want to see it. I want to see that basketball game. I want to see that football game. I want to see that. Come on now. Hockey still got fight in it. Football, they still got a little fight in it. But basketball, they're taking it to another level to where you can't fight. You can't fight. You can't. Let's get ready to rumble. You can't do it, bro. You can't do this right here. So I want to listen to this discussion. I want to break it down. I thought this was a very interesting discussion between two former players that's been in the league, two former players that play football, two former players that understand the fighting element in sports. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it.
Haslam, just retired after 20 years, says he wants to see Draymond be a mentor to these young players. At the end of the day, we're here to guide these young fellas in the right direction. Can you imagine me swinging on Hero? I'd take a long walk on a short pier. I'd never forgive myself. The question is, Gil, you said he's not going to change, but does he want to collect the remaining of that $100 million, or does he want to go home and say, I'm going to stand on business?
It looks like he's standing on business. It looks like he's standing on business right now. But you know what? It's principles, it seemed like, to those type of guys, right? Haslam, like he said it, he wouldn't be able to live with himself if he hurt someone that he's supposed to protect, right?
I think he's talking about the Jordan Poole situation and that.
He's talking about himself on protecting his teammates from other wolves. And I think as a teammate, what Draymond did to Jordan Poole, it made him seem like he was an outsider. Because there ain't no goddamn way he doing that to Stephen Clay.
No, hell no.
Lithuania somewhere, he tried that shit.
He ain't never played in the NBA again, ever.
Hell no. Hey, Ocho, if he pumped his chest up, boy, he would have been in the third ward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't even. What happened with? Do we know what happened internally with that situation? Did he say something about him personally?
Go ahead, Gil. You would have more information about that situation than I would.
All right, here's the story.
Now, I'm so glad they went to commercial. But this story, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you is not going to want to go nowhere. It is finna go down. You finna get deep into what...
camp.
You finna go deep into what I believe, what makes a rival a rival. These stories on these podcasts is what's making us want to come back. It's like, you know what? I want to watch that game. I'm not a Warriors fan, but if I knew this right here, ladies and gentlemen, I think I would have paid more attention to what was going on. I just think I would have.
Training camp, and Jordan Poole got the second squad. So when they were in Japan, it's about an hour and a half ride to practice and back. So Draymond already started he already started the rough. Like, you suck, your team suck. How can you make this kind of money? You can't even get a win, right? He's going to, like, he ain't going to beat Steph, Clay, Draymond. You ain't going to beat the starting five. So he's just going at him. Hey, are you going, right? He just, the whole training camp, right? So Kerr had to pull him aside and say, hey, you got to stand up for yourself. Come on, stop letting Draymond treat you like a little girl out here. Stand up for yourself, right? So, Jordan Poole like, oh, okay. So they said Jordan Poole was in practice cooking. Boy, he was cooking shrimp and chicken that day, right? So he's talking. And he's talking at Draymond. Hey, Draymond, you going to do something today? Or is 30 going to keep carrying you? Is he going to keep carrying you like a backpack? He said, you an expensive accessory. You like.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, these two players are not on teams, okay? So next time, if Draymond Green was to come back this season and you seen Jordan Poole, wouldn't that make you want to see the game? Wouldn't that make you want to see the game? Wouldn't that make you want to step up and be like, you know what? That right there is the reason why I want to see the next game next week. I'm excited. I'm thrilled. I got to see that. If that don't make you want to see the game next week, then you're not really into rival. You don't like rivals. You're not that person that was into sports. You just a person that got a friend that watch sports and you just want to chill. Oh, man, my friends watch sports. I'm just trying to hang out, smoke their weed, and drink their liquor. You're one of them. But to know this right here, I guarantee millions and millions of people would have tuned into the next basketball game the following week.
Like a Gucci back to 30. Draymond got the ball, missed the layup. It popped off to and got the Curry. Curry and Curry hit the three. Game, right? Everybody cheering. See, there you go. 30 saved you again. You got 4 rings off 30 back. That was that day. The next day is when the hit happened. So Draymond, like most men do, we gonna do some child support shit. Right? We gonna do some outside stuff.
Yeah.
Support, seeing his kids. So Draymond coming to practice already disgruntled, right? Looney
I like how you use the word
disgruntled. That he was on a
disgruntled.
different vibe, right? So Draymond's trying to find somebody to pick on. Who you gonna pick on?
Poole.
But the problem is Poole already sensed this. So Poole, hey, I'm good. I already won yesterday, baby. I don't need.
Right. Yeah.
No,
You're right.
So Poole, if you look at it, Poole not even on the court. Poole ain't even on the court. Draymond scoring. Where you at now? Come on the court.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, what he's talking about is the time when Draymond Green punched Poole during practice. This all happened during practice for players on teams. Now, the reason why I'm going deeper into this, y'all, because I feel like this, and I don't know if y'all gonna agree with me or disagree with me, but it is what it is. When it comes down to these podcasts is really, really where it's at. You really get to find the juice, the sauce in a show. You really get to look at a person, be like, you know what? I fucks with you. I didn't know that about you. You can't look at a person's work ethic on a basketball court, in a football field, in a hockey ring, on a soccer, and be like, you know what, that's my dude. I fucks with him. Nowadays, you need to know a little bit more about him. Did he shake your hand after the game? Did he give you a shout out? Did he mention somebody in your family member that has the same name? It may not have been your family member, but it could have been somebody just with the same name. These things actually matter, and people actually look at when it comes to rivals. These are things we want to be rivals. Man, he said something about the Deion Sanders. When old boy says something about we take our hats off at dinner tables, you know what I'm saying, and brought so-called Deion Sanders' mother that game was one of the highest gross games that week. That's what I'm talking about when it comes down to this rival. When it comes down to, we need to hear the gossip. We need to hear the gossip, y'all. Without the gossip, we're lost.
Come on the court, talk that mess today, and like, I'm good, and that's how that was. So it wasn't like Poole was going at him that day. The damage was done yesterday, the day before, and that push right there, got him hit.
But but the thing is, but Ocho, being in the locker room, that's a different type of machismo. Because first of all, guys in the locker room ain't gonna let you walk up on them. Especially, Gil, we can be disagreeing.
This part right here, and I had to cut it off, y'all. I had to cut it off right here. Because this part right here is finna get funny. It's finna get funny. It's finna be hilarious. Y'all is not really ready for this part that's finna come up. I'm telling you right now. You're seeing it from 3 different players, 2 people that play football, 1 person that play basketball, and listen to the results of how you figure out when it's time to throw them hands compared to who's the goofball.
Man, F you. You ain't gonna do nothing. As long as you over there and I'm over here, we good.
We good.
But the moment I see you start to close the distance, I'm feeling some type of way. So now I'm getting in the mindset. If he gets within, all I'm thinking, if he gets within arms, I'm unloading.
Here at Papa John's, we know our stuff.
So try our newest cheesy calzone epic stuffed crust pizza.
What? That's the only thing I'm thinking. Oh, no, sir, Gil. Oh yeah, I'm teeing off. What?
Ocho, you with him? I can see he got the muscles. Come on.
No.
I like this part. You see what he said? Let me rewind that. Look at how he jumped. I love this scene, y'all. Y'all gotta fucks with me.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'm teeing off.
What? Ocho, you with him? I can see he got the muscles. Come on.
No. We arguing. You over there, I'm over here. As you arguing, we arguing still, and you start to close the distance.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna let you get up on me.
Yeah,
I'm never gonna let that happen, Gil.
Yeah,
I'm never gonna let that happen. My antenna going up. I'm feeling some type of way. So all of a sudden now I start to feel a rush.
Wow, bro. Y'all see see y'all got that juice in y'all, man. No, the locker room.
Ocho, you better tell.
Yeah, I mean, you got to know your antennas got to go up, especially if sometimes even if it's a friend, even if it's a teammate. When someone invades your space, when you're in an argument, your antennas already got to go up, and you got to be on your P's and Q's. You got to, especially in that situation when.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm going to tell you about a situation. I was at work. Some of y'all may have heard about this. Some of y'all may have not. Depending on who watching, whatever. I got a lot of co-workers that watch my show. Shout out to the co-workers. Shout out to the co-workers that watch my show. Share my So, I'm at work, y'all. I'm having a conversation with this person. We shooting the shits. And she calls upon another person. Hey, come take care of my lightweight. Jokingly. Didn't call him for real. Just saying this stuff jokingly, y'all. So dude, look over. I call him a walrus. A fat walrus. But I'm not directing it towards him. I'm just having a conversation. We just shooting the breeze. He hears me. He said, what you say? I said it again. So, y'all, I lost my tooth playing basketball, trying to dunk on the rim, and the rim hit my tooth. Tooth fell out, okay? Boom. There you go. So you want to talk about that? I said, okay, cool. You joning. Oh, we're roasting. I roasted him. Not even 15 seconds. I may have said 2 other things and roast. The boy got in this feeling he wanted to fight. He wanted to fight. You don't be talking about me. Bucktooth. So what? Fat ass Warris. Boy, you overweight. He getting up. Now, remember what they say. He way over there. He crossed the line. I'm talking my shit. He wants to get up. Now, one dude get up. He push him out the way. I'm like, okay. Boom. Old girl sitting next to me get up. She gets in front of him. Now he kind of a struggle. So at that point right there, I'm like, it's not a real threat. At that point right there, if you letting this girl stop you, it's not a real threat. It's not real. It's not real. Now, if you would have pushed her to the side and she would have boom, I would have knew it was real because you would have had that force you would have been marching for, and I would have took out them kneecaps. Because all that more better of a big ass Warriors looking ass nigga. And people that know who I'm talking about, sorry for talking about them. I don't mean to disrespect them. Just say it is what it is. Okay? It is what it is. But hear this out.
If somebody is showing any type of hostility to you, and they close that distance and they become in what I like to call an arm's reach or an arm's length. But it's go time.
Well, you telling me to hit you?
It's go time.
No, they not saying no. We don't expect to get hit. I was at the strip club sucking on titties with you. No, you ain't gonna hit me. I don't care what kind of argument we got in, baby.
Right.
No. Hey, let's keep it over there, Gil. You stay over there. I stay over there. Hey, Gil, you suck. F you. You ain't gonna do nothing. You right. We right. Hey,
no, we gotta get in center. We gotta put our shoulders next to each other. We gotta.
Oh no! Oh hell no! No, Hey, Gil, that's third grade. When you walk around the circle, push me.
We still on high school shit.
That's third grade, Gil. When you walk around the circle, do something. Knock it off my shoulder.
With this. We ain't trying to hit this.
I ain't gonna hit that. I'm gonna hit this. I ain't gonna hit that.
This right here, we done.
Yeah, and you know the funny.
You can't let nobody walk up on you.
The funny thing about it is you gotta like with coaches, you gotta know your personnel. When it comes to arguing, you got to understand the people you're arguing with, and you know how they move. You already know how they move, and you know what makes certain people tick. And there's certain people you can argue with, and you can get away with it. And there's certain people, if we get into it, I gotta stand on business. I gotta stand on business. If this individual get mad, you already know what time it is.
If a man tell you, Gil, to stop playing, just let that go. Just let it go. Even if you.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to rivals, I had to take a dab on that. When it comes to this rival shit, we slipping. Y'all, somebody ain't telling the truth. I need to know what's going on. Hey. Anybody else trip off of this? I tripped off of that too, dog. When it came to the Lightning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, they having a good time, having a good podcast. Ocho Cinco is on some shit. He right. But then, how much money we making out here? I'm almost like Arena, y'all. How much money we making out here, nigga? We should be able to talk shit all we want to and go on about our business. It's okay, cause nigga, we know tomorrow I got another game. I got practice. I got to do rehearsal. I got commercials. What does Sharp say? I'm gonna hit this. You not finna hit none of that. This? What? I gotta work tomorrow. I gotta shoot this basketball thing. I can't go in there with no swollen jaw. You crazy? We boys. What Arena say? We were just sucking on some titties. Now you want to fight because you somebody else made you mad? What Ply said, you mad. I can't argue with you. You big mad. Huh? But all you hear in the back of your mind is this, huh? Let's get ready to rumble. Come on, man. We making too much money for that to be going down. Too much money. But if y'all knew all of them stories, if y'all knew all of those stories was going on, promise you, you'd be watching sports a lot more. Promise you, UFC ratings will go down because why are you watching basketball? If UFC just joined the NBA, why I'm saying NBA? Because you see they faces a lot more. They're a lot more known. You know more basketball players than you know NBA players if you're a sports fanatic. Okay? If you're not a sports fanatic, then okay. Maybe I'm talking stuff. But yet again, when you see somebody like Deion Sanders going toe-to-toe with Jerry Rice, you want to see that. Everybody want to see that. Y'all also want to see the helmets come off. Huh? You want to see the helmets come off? It's almost like pay-per-view. Huh? Show me the money. Am I tripping? I'm tripping. I'm not tripping. Y'all, sports ratings need to go up. Everybody want to be more clean and better, more athletes. Everything is so doggone scripted. So we need something off script. Only thing that you can see off script is beef. And bro, it's hate to knowing. Okay. Everybody knew that the Pistons didn't like the Bulls. Okay. Everybody know that Chicago don't like Green Bay. It's a rival right there. Everybody knows that Kansas and Missouri don't like each other. Even though, you see what I'm saying? Real rivals. Real rivals. Everybody know that the Yankees don't like the Mets. Real rivals. Remember when Deion Sanders and Andre? Yeah, I remember that scrapping. Teammates, ex-teammates, bruh. But see, that's what made you, and when they scrapped, and if you knew that they was watching, I mean, if they was playing 2 weeks later down the road, you was finna watch that game. You tried to call off. Nowadays, bro, you miss a game, dog. You can damn near, hey man, I'll just watch the highlights because the highlights gonna show the fight. But you be like, okay, that's the rival. What is a good rival right now, today, in sports? Not in boxing, not in UFC, because I know y'all like, man, you know what guy don't like what's his name? Okay, but in sports, where's the rival? Where is the rival? I'm thinking hard. I'm thinking real hard. A real rival. Not one that's back in the day that you trying to say that's now. No. Those are not rivals. Those are not popping. Okay. The farthest back of a rival that I can go back to, that I can think of that's a rival, would be LeBron and Paris. So it doesn't matter what team LeBron was on. So when LeBron was with Cleveland, it was Cleveland and Boston. And then when he went with Miami, it was Miami and Boston. That's the only. That's the only rival that I can really, really think of. That's like modern old. You know, you see how you had to use like two words and bring it together. Modern old. Okay. You can say Dallas 49ers, Ocho Cinco. I mean not Ocho Cinco, but Terrell Owens. Because when Terrell Owens played against the 49ers, that was a rival. You always got Boston, New York. Boston, New York. See, hockey, there's still rivals still popping off. There's still good rivals popping off. There's still good rivals popping off. And you know what make it, and this is what's interesting about these two stories. This story right here, and then a story that it leads into the next one is about your enemies. Okay? And when I mean about your enemies, ladies and gentlemen, there's all type of enemies. All types of enemies going on around here. Now, you just heard of one on the basketball court that I guarantee that half of us didn't know nothing about. I bet you can't name another rival fight going on like that. Yeah. Yet again, one of those, I'll wait. But yet again, I got this, I'm calling him a mentor. I'm calling him a mentor because I've been watching his podcast 6 months now. Six months. And the people that Patrick Bet Davis brought onto his podcast blew my mind. Blew my mind. Okay? Blew my mind. To interview people that you didn't know nothing about, to get the insights of how they think, was beautiful. And people want to get it off to Joe Rogan as a podcaster. And I can't knock Joe Rogan. I like listening to Joe Rogan when it comes to things that's not of the normal. Joe Rogan is good to hear stuff like that to me. I appreciate it. I think it's hard. I think it's awesome when it comes to stuff. But Patrick Bet Davis, that guy, he's not gonna BS you on an interview. What make me like him more is his co-host, that co-host with him. He don't let them BS around either. He don't let them bullshit him either. He makes sure that they're on topic or they're on subject of what is the matter and what's going on. I like that. So Turning Point USA had a rally, had some very famous people that half of y'all don't know, some of y'all do. I appreciate some of y'all do. I'm gonna take a dab before I get into this with you guys. Let me take a dab. Yeah. Okay. Take a dab. I'm glad I did the water thing first before I really got into these good stories and been really messing up. Cheers. Oh yeah. Mm, mm, mm. I didn't get to share my stuff out this time because I was too busy trying to fix and start some stuff. Y'all, I'm always doing the new. I'm always, y'all know how it is. I'm not even finna play with you guys. So, yet again, Patrick Bet-David in this interview, right? Well, this speech, I'm gonna say this speech, hit on some key things I think I want to share with you guys. I think that needs to be shared with y'all. Needs to be. Not want to be, needs to be shared. I think knowing who our enemies are as a family, as a whole, going into 2024 is highly needed. And I do agree with these points that he is saying. So I think I should share, instead of me coming on here and then writing it down. How about it come out his mouth himself? You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. And he's actually going to break things down for you to let you know where he's from, where he's come from, and it gets deeper. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm going to let this interview go on. Let's do it.
If you're proud to be above 45. Wow. By the way, very, very revealing on why that's going to make me call a quick audible on my message. To those of you above 45, unbelievable to have as loud of a chant that you had here, as well as below 25. We'll talk about you guys in here in a minute. How many of you have no clue who I am? Make some noise. You have no idea who I am, so I can give you a little. You don't know who I am. How many of you listen to PBD podcasts?
This is why I started right here, so he can give a quick breakdown of who he is.
Anybody? Okay. Who watches a little bit of valuetainment? More PBD podcasts. It's okay. It's okay. So let me give you a little bit about my background. Born and raised in Iran. I was born during the revolution, October 18, 1978, in Tehran, Iran. When my mother's water broke, my dad's taking my mother to the hospital. There's curfew. He gets held up. He has to show that my mom's pregnant with me, goes to the hospital. I'm born. Next thing you know, 3 months later, the Shah's in exile. We stay. Iran's chaotic for the next 10 years, 10 and a half years. June 2nd or 3rd of 89, Khomeini dies. 6 weeks later, my mother said, we can't stay here anymore. We escaped because my mother was afraid of me serving in the military in Iran. My dad's like, listen, do what you guys got to do. You guys got to go. We go to Germany. We live in a refugee camp in Germany, in Erlangen, Germany. Had a great time for about a year and a half. And then we come to the States, November 28, 1990, a day I'll never forget, when we're crossing, we go to New York. The moment I land in New York, I'm walking around in the airport. I'm looking for Gremlins, I'm looking for Rocky, I'm looking for all these guys. I'm thinking America's like this dream of mine, right? I watched Rocky 4 a few hundred times in Farsi. Little weird, but I watched it in Farsi a few hundred times. And then finally come here. We live in Glendale, California, not Glendale, Arizona, Glendale, California. Any Californians here, yes or no? By the way, any Texans here, Texans? Any Floridians here? Here's what I can tell you. If California and Texas could have a baby, it's Florida. That's why I live in Florida now, just so you know. I've lived in California, I've lived in Texas, and I live in Florida, and I love it in Florida. But I still have I love the other 2 states I lived in as well. Let me continue. So I go to high school, I get out, I decide to join the Army. I go to the 101st Airborne Division Air Assault. Thank you. Anybody else here served? Who else served here? Anybody served? Thank you for your service. One of the best decisions I made in my life. I ended up getting out of the Army. When I get out, it was because of my citizenship date I had. June of 1999, I become a U.S. citizen. So for some of you wondering if you can join the Army with a green card, you can, because I was in the Army with a green card, just so you know. Some people just freaked out a little bit, but that's what happened with me. So I get out, and I don't know what I want to do. At that time, I was a bodybuilder. That was my dream. I was going to go be Mr. Olympia, going to Hollywood, marry a Kennedy, be a governor. And then I met a girl named Jean-Pierre who introduced me to Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. Day before 9/11, I started working.
Okay. So he gave you a good background. I wanted him to give y'all the background before he got deep off into his speech and stuff like that, okay? Now, we get into the juicy part.
I meet a very different human being, period, right? And I'm convinced many of you feel the same way as well. Having said that, let me talk about a couple different things here when I say to you about the enemy. If I would ask you right now, who do you think is the enemy of the state? Who's the number one enemy we got in America today? I want you to scream it out. Tell me what you think it is. Who do you think it is?
This is the important part, y'all.
Say it. Say it louder. Who do you think it is? All right. Let me give you a few names and tell me if you agree some of these guys are enemies. Would you say mainstream media is one of the enemies? Would you say the establishment is one of the enemies? Would you say those on the outside, China, Iran, whatever other countries are, who hate what America stands for, is one of our enemies? Yes or no? Would you say some of the people on the inside that hate what America stands for? Yes or no? How about our educational system and all those unions? Are they one of our enemies? How many more you want me to go through? I got a list of them here if you want me to go through.
That list, them names that he named, any of those people you disagree or agree with, any of those people in this foundation in today's society you look and you frown upon. The mainstream media, other countries that frown upon us, the government. Any of these people right here you have a problem with. Now that I'm getting deep off into the conversation, off into the subject. Remember, we just talked about enemies having fights on a basketball court. Now we getting off into the bigger enemies, y'all. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. We getting off into the bigger, I told you, enemies. I think I did pretty doggone good how I led this off.
LGBTQ indoctrination. I can talk about Larry Fink, central banks, defense contractors, lobbyists, rhinos. I can continue. Hollywood, entertainment, globalism, keep going with all these names. However, at 28 years old, I made a decision in my life. I was constantly asking this question of why I'm here and what drives me. Is the goal in life, Patrick, to be a millionaire? No. Is the goal in life to be a billionaire? No. And by the way, I'm talking about the pinnacle. I want to know what's the top of the top. What is the one thing worth me giving my entire life to? Is it me wanting to be a great father? Number one, no. Is it to be a great husband? No. Is it to be a great capitalist? Not the number one. Is it to live a fulfilled life? It's not the number one. Is it to be funny, fun, all that stuff? Not number one. And I kept going through it. All that stuff is great, but it's not my number one. See, what's crazy is a lot of us in here have a lot of people we love. And a lot of you in here have a lot of people that love you. Everybody has that. But there's a very big difference between being loved and being respected and being admired. One can love their husband, but maybe they're saying, man, he no longer lights it up like he used to. He used to work and drive and go and get after it. He was fearless. He used to be like that 15 years ago, but all of a sudden he lost that fire in his eyes. What happened with that? But she'll never tell you. She admired a man of 15 years ago. Your parents may love you, but your father, when he looks at you, gives you a look and says, why doesn't my son give his best? I wish I admired my son, but he loves you. There comes a point in your life where you got to say, I want to be loved and I want to be admired. There was nothing in my life more important than being a leader amongst leaders. And when you realize if the number one is being a leader amongst leaders, does that mean you need to be a great father? Absolutely. Does that mean you need to be a great husband? Absolutely. Great wife? Yes. Great capitalist? Yes. Great contributor to society? Yes. Have a backbone to stand up? Yes, because the number one pinnacle in life is what? Being a leader amongst leaders. You know who's looking for that right now? The man upstairs. I'm convinced the man upstairs looking down right now saying, what happened to this incredible country that loved God? And they would constantly talk about it. Man, I am looking for a new generation of leaders to rise up. I believe God is looking for the next generation of flag carriers. And to be people like that, you have to be leaders amongst leaders. By the way, this is a tough decision for us to make because we don't like that kind of responsibility. We don't like that kind of pressure. However, what clip did Glenn Beck play at the end? Why do you and I watch that movie and get emotional? Why do you watch the movie Gladiator and we get fired up when we watch Gladiator? Why do you love that scene? Why do you love the scene when he gets up and he turns around? Show your face, Gladiator. And he takes it. Why do you love that scene? Because deep down inside of you, I don't know what it is. He put something in us that we want to be leaders amongst leaders, but we're scared sometimes. And that's okay. It's okay to be scared at times. But someone's going to wake your ass up every once in a while. If today that's me to you, it was somebody else 15 years ago, I don't have a problem being that person. FYI, some of you guys are saying, Pat, I consider myself a leader amongst leaders. That's great. But everybody came to this event with a different outcome. Some of you came here, quite frankly, let's just say it, is because for whatever reason, Turning Point USA attracts a lot of young, good-looking people. You know what I'm saying? You're kind of like, well, you know, I hope I meet somebody. I hope I meet somebody. Some of you came here because you came with your granddaughter or your grandson or your daughter, and you're wanting your kids to be in an environment that you can trust for them to become great leaders. You're hoping something happens. Fire's lit under your kid. You're hoping that happens to you. Some of you guys are here, it's because it's you. You're like, man, I'm looking for something to get me to the next level. I want to wake up and do something big with my life. I feel like I haven't had it for a while. Everybody's got a different outcome. But we just talked about the first enemy. The first enemy is what? We love talking about outside enemies, right? Which is what? Yeah, that globalist. Yeah, mainstream media. Yeah, this, yeah, that. No problem. They are enemies, but they're only one of the enemies. But the only reason they win is because of the second enemy. Let me unpack the second enemy for you. Here's the second enemy. I'm convinced the second enemy are three communities. Number one is the tolerant Christians are one of those enemies. Good people, sweetheart, you've learned 20, 30, 40 different scripture. Oh, God, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord, John 3:16. Proverbs. Yeah. It's okay. They can also, it's okay. What interpretation do you have of who Jesus was? Do you think Jesus was a guy that was going around saying, yeah, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay?
What does that
Or do you think he stood up and he managed expectations with other people? Are we confused in these churches?
I guess so.
Are we
Pretty
confused? Cool. So to me, the number one enemy is these tolerant Christians. They're not being called out. They're not being called out. I go to so many different churches. Well, why is donation down? Why is this down? Why do you think it's down? FYI, we can sit there and be upset about Muslims as much as possible and act like we're victims. You know what they're doing? They're simply having more kids than you. Why are you upset? So can you imagine if somebody says, well, these Muslims, look how they're growing so fast. Just 50 years ago, we were 3 times the size of them, and now they're the same as us. And in the next 30 years, they're going to be running Senate and Congress and governors. Why do you sound like you're scared? Why don't you go have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 babies?
Ladies and gentlemen, I know y'all is not paying attention to that part right there. Y'all is not paying attention to how making kids, producing your beliefs, installing your values into a child, and that child style those values into another child, is keeping a tradition going. There's a way to stop that. It's like how he's saying is not to have babies. That is deep. That's deep, and I don't think too many people really caught that part. I hope y'all caught everything up to this point. I wanted to break that part down because I know that part right there was going to look over some people's head. And we're talking about the second enemy. The first enemy, if you really want to break it down and look at it, if you really want to sit down and break it down and look, ayat. We necessarily look at the media and we just say it's just totally bad. They say one side agenda of things to make you believe in a narrative. And yes, I'm not gonna lie. As soon as we hear the narrative, we quit to believe it, and we don't even do no research to see if it's true or fake. We really don't. So, and the reason I say that is because I'm gonna have to come back to. I'm gonna come back to him real quick, y'all. But the reason I say that is because this video right here will go into the media thing of what he said. Where is that video? Because I was shocked at what I was listening to. The crazy thing is, I was listening. I didn't even get to watch it. I was just sitting there listening, like, oh, OMG, homie. Where is it? Give me a second. I know I didn't watch that damn many videos this morning. I think this is it right here anyway.
Online courses offered by
One of these days, y'all, I will be paying for that.
Talk about the hypocrisy.
So, when you say mainstream media, ladies and gentlemen, and yes, I probably need to be faster with this, but listen to this, and this is not telling me if mainstream media is not pushing an agenda, like you said, of the reason why y'all mostly hate mainstream media.
I'll roll in the FBI on you. That's how banana republics work, right?
Oh, that's how banana republics work.
Man, I'm gonna get to that damn.
Broad strokes in terms of our democracy.
Okay, that's not the video. That's not the video. Son of a monkey, tails of a rabbit. But you know what? He do got the video I'm looking for. And his thing somewhere. Do. Let's go to his videos. Give me a second. I hate when I can't find the video. I know. I was like, damn, I was just listening to it.
Democracy. There are very few magic.
And I keep pressing the same. That one. And it's not. That one. Is it this one?
They don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about...
Guy. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Let's dive in.
Is Trump an insurrectionist, sir?
Well, I think certain things are self-evident. You saw it all. Now, whether the 14th Amendment applies, I'll let the court make that decision. But he certainly supported an insurrection. There's no question about it. None. Zero. And He seems to be doubling down on about everything. Anyway, I've got to go do this.
Is Trump an insurrectionist, sir?
Yeah. You heard that correct. She asks, is Trump an insurrectionist? And
You see how they're going to paint the narrative? He had played a video that was like 5 minutes longer, him saying, like, everybody just kept asking the same thing over and over and over and over and over. But, yet again, I can't find that video. Let's get back into the speech.
Why do you stop saying lines like the following, where it's like, well, you know, my husband and I, we want to spend 5 years together, and then at 35 years old, we'll think about having a kid, because, you know, it's a lot of work having a kid. What do you think is the biggest juice of life? You think it's a nice house? You think it's a nice car? Or you think it's having a kid? Oh my God, one of the greatest gifts we have, if you're able to do it with health. I don't want to impose this on some people who God won't even help you have kids, because you're wanting to have kids. There's so many people that want to have kids that can't. But if you can have kids, go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, go. Raise them with the right values. Be tough on them, challenge them, love on them. Spend some time talking to them about all the things that's taking place in America today in the world. Don't be afraid of it. Because if you don't do it, the school's going to do it. And then one day you're going to be like, how the hell did I lose my kids for a decade or two? Because you didn't talk to your kids about all the things that they were facing. So number one enemy. On the other side are tolerant Christians. Let me talk about the second one. Are the do your thing libertarians. Look, man, you know, as long as you do your thing, I don't care what you do. You want to smoke weed? Go ahead. You want to go do this? Go ahead. Go do shrooms if you want to. Do your thing. Now, I don't think this is a libertarian community. But libertarians also have been saying, do your thing, do your thing, do your thing. And guess what the schools are saying? Well, thank you so much. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to do our thing with your kids. Thank you so much, libertarians. You guys are awesome. You guys are so awesome because you said do your thing, and we are. You're not running for the board in school. We are. And we control what's being taught to your kids. We love do your thing libertarians. They're ruining America. Number 3, you know this next one? These are the, now I'm going to tell you this in a different angle. These are the, and by the way, it's not a lot of the crowd here, but there's a lot of them out there because I know some of you guys who you are and what you're doing. It's the lazy, scared, rich conservatives. Let me explain. Before you're offended and you go slash our tires outside and I can't make it to my hotel room. You know what this community is? You know, it's the community where it's kind of like, no, look, you know, we can't tell people what we believe in because we may lose those guys over there that invite us to the cool parties. We can't tell them what we believe in. We can just say, yeah, you know, we kind of this, that. Wishy-washy? What? What do you stand for? What do you stand for? Do you have a backbone? What do you stand for? By the way, while you're sitting there investing your money in all these other things, Mark Benioff, Jeff Bezos buys WAPO. For how much? $500 million. That's nothing. Time Magazine, a few $100 million. Nothing. LA Times bought for $500 million. Nothing. I may be out by $50 million, but that's nothing to many of the rich Republican billionaires that are in the room or out there. You mean to tell me you couldn't have bought LA Times? You mean to tell me Forbes family sells Forbes to a Chinese company that owns 90% of it and they announced the International Woman of the Year, Hillary Clinton? What? What are we talking about? So you can't go by Forbes? You can't go by Fortune. Why would we buy these types of companies? Because media is communicating the messaging to people. You got to pick up some of these platforms. Well, no, but it's the rate of return. No, it's also a portion of your money needs to be invested in things that's not about a rate of return. It's about what this country's done for you. You got to go and buy some of these platforms so we can persuade and build the next generation. So now, these two enemies, we know. One of them on the outside, great. Second one is us. If you're always saying it's the enemy, it's the enemy, it's the enemy on the outside, what you're telling the world is you're helpless. And this community, we're not helpless. That's not a language we use. We're doers. Do you understand that? So we cannot use that language when we're going out there. Let me continue. Next part. I think we have to do a better job selling our values and principles. Charlie does a great job selling it. I think he's one of the best. He's fantastic. Ilana is doing it in his own way. Others are doing it in their own way. We need to get better at selling some of the values and principles that we have, because our values and principles are proven. The way we raise kids, the way we raise communities, the way we build, U.S., a brand spanking new startup country, 1776, into the greatest country in the world. How do we do this? China had been around with a couple thousand years. Iran been around for 2,500 years. We do a brand spanking new startup called United States of America. Yes, our ideas are proven. Everybody else works for our companies. They work for our companies. Walmart employs nearly 3 million people worldwide.
And I'm going to stop it right there, because this is the question that I have for my audience and the things that I be seeing and going on. How can other people have more appreciation for this country than the people that were literally born here? What has this country done to you so bad that you didn't have a chance to change it, correct it, and you still have a chance to change it and correct it now? But what have they done to you so bad? So bad. To where you can't function right. Make that make sense to me. I've been wondering that question for a little minute, and I've been pondering, and I was like, what is it? Not sure. But now I'm starting to maybe see. Like, maybe that's going on. But you heard where he was from. That's why I played his little background first. Then he broke down some enemies. And these enemies we have in common. Social media, teaching our kids, the teachers grooming our kids, gas prices high. All of these things that are developing now that we don't like seems to be created from the same party. I look at what this party has done, and it's like it's not right. Go back in history and look at Democrat versus Republican. You don't see what needs to be seen. When it comes to the Democratic Party, what have they done but giving y'all, I guess, handouts? I guess people would say handouts. People were like, you know what, Mike, that handout looked pretty damn good. It's pretty damn lovely when he was just like, here you go. So is maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. I wonder, did I share this one video real quick that explains a little bit deeper? I love when you have videos that explain shit just a tad bit deeper than what you can. 'Cause, hey, look, I'm not the best explainer. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I don't even see it. I don't see it. I hate trying to find, like I said, y'all, I be trying to find these videos and have these exclusives for y'all. And sometimes I misplace them. I be misplacing them. Hmm. But our enemies around here are starting to look the same. People want to ignore the people want to ignore the facts of what's going on. People like to just only see. I would like to say that people like to see only what they want to see, especially in the black community. Black folks only see things when they only see it. It's the only time it's racism. Other than that, you're only looking for Hennessy, some ass, and to make sure you can show up on work on time. A lot of people I see has been blowing up on the Stephen A. Smith talking about the immigrants, the illegal immigrants that's coming over here. And we're going to cover that plenty on this show. Plenty. But I don't want to get too deep off into that. Not today. Man, you got the war going. You got two wars going on. You got an illegal immigration problem going on at the border. Then you got elections finna start. You got states that's trying to vote a ex-president off the ballot. I would ask what more could this state take, but I don't want to say that and jinx us. Then tomorrow you'd be like, what the hell is that? And we be in another crisis. Ooh, I do want to play this little news clip. I ain't played a news clip in a minute. That was loud. I ain't played this little news clip in a minute.
Is fast approaching, and the vast majority.
Okay, they look like they talking about something. Let's see.
Year's deadline to register banned assault weapons in Illinois is fast approaching, and the vast majority of gun owners still have not registered any weapons with the state.
And as that deadline approaches, our political editor, Mark Maxwell, reports there are concerns and confusion around registration and enforcement of the new law.
Starting January 1st, you can no longer legally purchase any of these weapons in Illinois. If you already have one, the law requires you to register it online.
But what about people who don't have a computer or access to the internet? Illinois State Police are directing them here to this regional headquarters, a kiosk in Collinsville, where someone printed out a list of banned guns and magazines you must register with the state to be in compliance with the law. But the kiosk itself, out of order, because the person who runs it is on vacation until after the New Year's deadline.
But with 5 days to go before the new law takes effect, fewer than 0.5% of all the state's 2.4 million registered FOID card holders have registered at least one assault weapon in the state's registry online.
I think the biggest challenge will be citizens not registering. They're just not going to abide by the law.
That's former Illinois Congressman John Shimkus, one of the citizens who refuses to register a gun with the government. Current Congressman Mike Bost, who says our founding fathers are rolling over in their graves at J.B. Pritzker's tyrannical gun grab bill. Bost says, I will never register my firearms with the government, and his primary challenger, Darren Bailey, says this.
And if need be, as I quoted before, I will die on this front porch before I give up any of my Second Amendment freedoms.
Is that a responsible thing for a person to say running for federal office?
Well, I believe you got to comply with the law. you know, Charlie Brennan used to say, I'm not going to tell you if I own a gun or I don't own a gun, right?
You remember how Patrick Davis just said you got those rich, boring people that don't like to say their beliefs. You see the guy in the red tie right there? He's one of them rich people that got money who's not standing up. I guess you got to abide by the law. Don't want to admit the truth about, hey, this is how I feel about this situation. I'm not liking it. Yeah, I got to turn in guns. You know you're taking away a person's Second Amendment to bear arms. And that's why ain't nobody turning in no guns. Quit playing. Wow. I'm not turning in no guns. I'm not turning in no guns if I ain't got to turn in no guns, and I'm here to protect myself. Illinois, Chicago, Chirac, whatever other name do you need to be called? You want me to what? Are you serious? Boy, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. It's time. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I gotta go and do something. I hate to cut the show like that, but you know, things pop up, things come up, and gotta take care of business, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Until next time, peace.